story, going from life as a normal 20-year-old young woman to suddenly facing stage 4 cancer.
The daughter of an ABC News producer, Natasha, found unexpected solace in the transformative power of online communities.
She discovered a place where she actually used her own voice that could be heard and her battles could be shared. And Dr. Darian Sutton is bringing us her story.
Find meaning in your own life, find what makes you happy, find how you can make the world around you better.
For Natasha Allen, a longtime basketball player, a little wear and tear on the knees would seem normal. But in 2020, she started to think her pain was something more.
It's quite large, and my other knee looks normal.
I would say in the fall of 2019, I started having knee issues. I started limping, and limping is not so cute when you are 22 years old.
In February of 2020, Natasha would undergo knee surgery for hypertrophic synovitis. But her initial surgery left her with more questions than answers. A post-surgery biopsy later that summer revealed a life-changing diagnosis.
I went in, I sat on the table, and my doctor came in, and he was just like, it's a tumor. And he said, synovial sarcoma, Google it. And he said that with no emotion, not looking at me.
That comfort and understanding, she says, was sorely absent in her doctor's office that day, she would soon find was just a few posts away.
In September of 2020, I was alone, I was bored, and I was just like, what do I do? So I went on TikTok.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I'm 27 years old, and I have stage 4 synovial sarcoma.
She discovered the hashtag Cancer Talk, a place to be heard and a home for humor, healing, and hope.
Morning. It's 9:50 a.m. and I have chemo today.
I actually ended up getting my first cancer friend early on in my cancer journey. And then it was nice to feel not alone, because you'll have your family and your friends, but sometimes you bring up mortality and they're like, no, don't talk about that. And I'm like, well, how can I not talk about it when it's on my mind all the time?
According to the National Institute of Health, nearly 85,000 teens and young adults will be diagnosed with cancer this year, representing over 4% of all diagnoses. Dr. Salman Punikar treats patients with aggressive and advanced cancer and is still searching for the cause.
Particularly in younger patients, what we are seeing are a lot of stage 3, stage 4, so advanced cancers. And that's a little bit more sobering.
And while the battles might be tough, caring communities like Cancer Talk offer an online sanctuary for users like Lydia Abai to seek safety and support.
Watching other people fight through chemotherapy and their cancer treatment has really inspired me when I was in chemo, because it helped me kind of keep going and keep pushing on when times were really tough. I'm really grateful that people posted their experiences, and that's when I started posting about mine.
And a place for Michael Kramer to find answers and friendship while beating cancer.
The community on TikTok is great, especially in the cancer world. There are so many people out there that are just so willing to talk and chat. You might have someone comment on that post or reach out to you that ends up being one of your best friends.
So I'm here on TikTok to spread awareness, to, hopefully make at least one person feel less alone.
Someone said, I love your strong personality. I was diagnosed with the same condition 12 years ago. How does that make you feel?
Seeing that someone had the same cancer 12 years ago and they're still out here kicking, it gives me hope.
Creators like Natasha are a prime example of the positive power this online community can cultivate, and a reminder of the hope needed to heal.
The messages that really hit a chord with me are the ones where people say, you are an inspiration. Being able to be that someone for someone else makes it all worth it.
It most certainly does. An amazing soul, and a shout out to her mom, Sabina, who we all know dearly, for raising a strong, brave, and confident woman there. Incredible. So you did this story. Why are so many young people getting cancer?
The answer to that question, I think, is still being understood. The overall number of young people with cancer still remains small, about 4% of overall cancers, and we're talking about those under the age of 40 with this diagnosis. But the rate of increase is what's concerning, and scientists both on the lab and both in the hospital working to understand, could it be an environmental exposure? Could it be diet? Could it be the rising weight and obesity efforts or effects that are happening in this country, and what is associated to that? And then there's also a genetic question on the molecular level. Why is it that these young people are coming up with late-stage cancer? That's still something that's not fully understood.
And also, doctors like us aren't trained to think of younger populations for a lot of these cancers, so the awareness has to be up for everyone. We were taught in medical school about how important it is to share your experiences when they're traumatic, for a therapeutic, beneficial effect. Why do you think TikTok, is it just that they're reaching more people, or what do you think is special about TikTok versus like an in-person support group?
You know, I think that there's some wonderful benefits as you know, an active user of TikTok and these social media platforms, because I think they're a great place for education. I think there's also a method of discoverability where you're just constantly seeing people who you may not know or live near, and you're realizing that there are so many other people that live with something that you live with, and that experience alone can be curative and helpful. You know, one of the things that Natasha talked about is how when she got in the car after this diagnosis, she just felt lonely. And it was on social media where she was able to see someone who looked like her, who experienced something that she had, and might have experienced that experience 12 years prior. And so it was in those moments where she was able to find that community and that strength.
And you can reach people literally all over the world.
All over the world. It's an incredible, incredible method of communication and community.
You got to spend some time with Natasha. We've watched her videos. She is a joy.
Wonderful.
She has such a bubbly personality. Where does that come from?
I wish I knew, because if I did, I would go to whatever school that was and I would never leave. Natasha is wise beyond her years. She's resilient, she's strong, and if only I could understand and take that perspective and hold on to it, I hope I can. The perspective that she has on life and the wisdom, again, that she has on what we should be doing in this moment, how we should be living our lives. I think everyone can learn from her, and I'm so happy that she got to share her story.
You've heard the saying, she get it from her mama?
She sure does.
Really does.
She sure does.
Doc, thank you very much. We appreciate it.